Welcome back to the channel. Today is an unboxing and a review of a product that's been sent to me by CVLIFE. This is all airsoft stuff, so if you're watching this or reviewing it from YouTube, please leave me alone. But basically, guys, CVLIFE reached out. They've actually sent me an optic before. I'm trying to think which optic they sent me. This one, which I absolutely love. I've got this, which is one of their little MOA green dot sights on my MOA green dot sights, but little RMR micro red dot kind of sights, which is on my kind of Combat Master Glock 34. And I don't know what it is about this sight. I think it's like because the window's so wide. I just really like how it kind of like sits. It's super easy to get target and like just bring it up to your eye. So I was really excited about this. They emailed me saying, hey, how are you? Hope you're good. Would you like to review another one of our sites? And I said 100%. Absolutely, I would. And so they've sent me something a bit different today, I think, which is one of their like combo kits. So this is an optics combo kit. It's available on Amazon. I'll put the link down below in the description. But CVLIFE seem to be making some really good stuff. And the price point is really good for airsoft. I think these apparently can kind of be used on real steel, but the price for this... Hi, Charlie. You want to come say hi? Charlie's here. He says hi. He's getting bigger and bigger, isn't he? The price on this is like $170 to $180, depending on if you're going for like the red or the green dot version. But what I'm expecting to be in here, because I haven't opened this yet, is not just a sight, but also a magnifier. So it looks from the pictures kind of like it's one of those like T2 style kind of red dots. I'm going to call it a red dot, even though you've got a green dot version. But then it also has a magnifier with it as well. So you can kind of like for $170 get a functioning good kind of red dot. We'll see how good it's functioning when we test it, when I install it on here. But you'll be able to get a kind of red dot, green dot, and then also a magnifier. I think this, in terms of what it is, I'm trying to look at the site now. It's a 3x magnifier, which for me in airsoft is kind of ideal. I don't think you really need more than 3x. Maybe if you're running a sniper rifle, etc., and in which case you're going to be using a scope, you're not going to be using a red dot. But the packaging is really nice. Optics combo kit. It has got a manual inside, which is great because then we can know how to use it. Hopefully it should be pretty easy to use. Cleaning cloth inside, which Charlie, you're probably going to try and eat. Some silica gel. And then it has two, I'll show you the layup here. So they've actually put it in that kind of setup, which I think is kind of cool. And then it looks like they've also included batteries and an optics tool. Hold on. Sorry, Charlie. An optics tool an optics tool with a Torx wrench and like a little one of these, I don't know what you call it, like a little lever piece, and then also just a separate Torx screw as well. So let's open it up. First off, let's go with the actual sight itself. So size-wise, it's fairly compact. It's not the smallest sight that I've got for sure. Weight is pretty lightweight. It's definitely not heavy. It's got lens covers on it, so you can use those if you want. Normally, if I'm using one of these sights for airsoft, I'll just remove these. So I think maybe this is the red dot version. I'm not 100% sure. Stop, Charlie, please. Just like scratched me pretty bad there. Looks like we have multiple optic selection there. So I can choose 4 different, like a regular just MOA dot, a circle with a dot, like an X or a cross, and then almost like a hybrid cross X, that one on the top that I've selected there. It then has the adjustments. Oh, that's just really nice. So this is like, don't have to take a cap off. It's just like a separate, I'll do this here. You can hear those little clicks going through. But that is actually really cool. I really like that. In terms of the on button, you've got an on and an off, an up and a down. It's given us batteries, so I'm presuming the batteries aren't in here. No, batteries aren't in here yet. So it looks like we just kind of like undo this piece and then put the battery in. One thing to note is this is not just a riser. It looks like this piece here. It's actually a riser plus being a battery storage, or where you're going to put the battery in. They've given us 2 batteries, and I'm presuming you're not going to need a battery for the actual magnifier. That wouldn't make a huge amount of sense. And these are AAAs. Yeah. So they've given you two AAAs. I'll put this in this way, which is it? Does it say a plus and a minus? Yep, it tells you on the side. So I'm going to go in that way. Put this guy in. It's got a little O-ring around it. So I'm presuming it's going to have some kind of waterproofness. I'll go over the features in a second. But basically it says it's an auto brightness red dot, 3x magnifier combo, 25mm large lens, motion awake, which is fantastic. A red dot sight with quick release mount, compact magnifier, flip to side. And that's going to be a big one for me, is the flip to side. Okay, so right, that is now... that has now brought that up, so we can see what this is. But it is not on center. Let me just try and move this. I think I've actually rotated this off center quite a bit. Okay, we're going the other way. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So I've done the kind of like hybrid optic version there, which you can see if I put that there for you. It's not super, super bright in that mode. Let me just see if I could turn it up. Okay, and that gets a lot brighter. So that is actually really, really clear. There is like almost like a little edge, it looks like. I'm trying to see here if I can see it, but there's almost like a little kind of like box edge that you can see. Let me see if I can find that for you. There it is there, and it's always hard to get these across. You can see how bright it is. I can switch it from that mode to... Oh yeah, I just want to get it in sight for you, and then I can switch it. That to this optic, which is the circle, to this optic, which is just the red MOA dot, 3 MOA dot, I think. And then the X is this one. So you've got different optics. To be honest, I like having the option to switch, but it doesn't make a huge difference to me. So like when I have that at the right angle, it's kind of perfect. There is like a kind of like a slight kind of, it's like, it's very clear to the edge of the actual, to the edge of the sight. There's no distortion. So it's really clear and really nice in that way. But there is like a slight kind of like, almost like a box edge, almost like a red box edge to like one side, to the bottom corner. It's not going to make any difference. Like it's not affecting the vision at all, but it does look like it's kind of like a slight distortion. I'm trying to think if it's just something I'm aiming at there. If I look at it outside, I can't see it at all. Okay, so maybe it's picking up on my computer monitor. That's the only thing I can think of, because I can't really see it here. Brightness, I can still turn it up further. Yeah, you can get it really, really bright. Now, this is the red version, which I think if I'm looking outside, like at the actual kind of like, you know, daylight, I don't think it's as bright. I think this will be great indoors, but I would probably personally go for the green version if I was going to do it. So it's very, very easy, it looks like, to kind of like control and to change. You've obviously got left and right, up and down, left and right here, up and down there. Gives you kind of like the here, turn left, the turn up and down, turn left and right there. My light's not working right now, sorry guys. So it's a little bit of a, like, it's not super bright on this screen. It's got like a kind of like push here latch to a quick detach. So then I can kind of do a quick detach, which is nice because I can pop it off. Then we're going to have the other combo. And what I do like about a combo as opposed to buying these separately is that you're going to have the same height. It's not like I have to worry like, oh, how high is the actual magnifier going to be? Do I need to put a riser under it to like make it in line with the red dot that I'm trying to use? This also has like a lens cap on it. Oh, and this is really nice. This is probably slightly heavier, the actual magnifier. What is also cool is because it is also QD, if I'm not going to use it, if I'm playing indoors like CQB, I can just pop this off and not worry about it. Whereas if I'm playing outdoors and I want that there, I can pick it on. Okay, so the lens on this is really nice. Like super, super like magnified, really, really clear, or 3 times magnified, but really clear whenever I'm looking through it. I'll try and give you guys an idea of it on here, but again, it's going to be very, very difficult to do that. Yeah, you go. You can see there the curtains just in that small area, but it is very, very hard to kind of show you. Here we have, you also have like an adapter here, left, right, up and down. It says 3x26 back full prism, 50 yards. The eye relief kind of lens is here as well, so the ring, so I can kind of open that up and just adjust it to where I want it. But I don't know what these adjusters are going to be for. Maybe it's because it should just be 3x and this shouldn't need any adjustment, I'm presuming. But it has actually got two little rings on here for adjustment. And I can adjust them. So I'm not sure. Tell me, guys, because I'm not I'm an airsoft. I'm dropping everything today. I'm an airsoft optics guy, but I'm not a real steel optics guy. So I don't know why you would have adjustments on here when it's just a 3x magnifier. That doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me, but maybe I'm just overlooking it. What I'm going to install it on today is actually this, which is my APFG Spear LT. So we can see what it looks like on that. Now, if you've seen a previous video, I actually ended up putting this RMR red dot or green dot onto this Unity tactical mount. I just don't really like it. I have to say, I was actually trying to play around with it on the Smart Target earlier. I don't know if there's something wrong with this sight right now, because there wasn't originally. But this is a Viridian, very expensive optic, and I'm adjusting it, and I just can't get it to adjust far enough to the right. And I've gone fully one way, fully the other way. It's just not really adjusting left and right. So I need to check that out and kind of see what's wrong with it. But also this thing, because it's got that mounting system, it just shifts a little bit. Like I can tighten it down, and then if I knock it, it's going to shift. And if I knock it, it's going to shift. And so for me, I'm for right now going to take this off, and I'm not going to use this on this APFG, even though I do kind of think it looks pretty cool. I actually need to quickly go and grab my little Mr. Tono kit. So 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, I've got that. Let me just put this here so you guys can kind of see. But I think the design and the style of them are really cool. It's definitely like when you've got both of them on there, it's not going to be like a lightweight optic setup. But if you're just running this, I think it's going to be super lightweight. And then if you want to kind of put that on and off, I think that's kind of a cool option. Again, I don't use like magnification that much. Like with my LPVOs and stuff, I quite like the option, or I like the idea of the option to be able to like undo the magnification and magnify in as well. And to be honest, I rarely use it. I have to say, it's like one of those things where I think the actual LPVO looks cool, so I'm probably putting it more on for that reason. So that's the Unity Tactical PTS riser with the Viridian Op Mod green dot that I've got on there. That's going to go and sit this way. I may end up just putting that on a pistol. We'll see what pistol I put it on. But if I can't get it to adjust properly or sit right, then I don't know. I'm just a little bit kind of confused as to why that's not working, because it was working great before. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, first of all, we'll put this red dot, red dot on here. Kind of used to saying green dots because I think will buy green dots. They have the green dot version, I think it's 179, and then they have the red dot version is slightly cheaper, I think at 169. I might be wrong on that, but okay, so we need to go slightly further forward on this. Maybe that there. That there. Slightly further back. Okay, so I'm going to try and just put that there. We'll see. And I think that looks really cool. Yeah, and it works really well. Like the eye relief on that with both my eyes open, it's kind of perfect. I need to tighten this up. So I'm going to do a little tighten while it's in place. So you've got the QD release, but then you've got the option to kind of like tighten it and loosen it slightly. So that the base is, so we'll keep it there, and then that's solid. But that actually is really, really good. Only thing, I might kind of want it a bit brighter, like again, it's red dot, and this is very like bright indoors. It probably doesn't look like it on camera because I've got the curtains closed behind. But the height of it is kind of perfect for me. It's like enough riser. You're looking at like maybe an inch there. And I think the style of it is very cool. It's kind of that tried and true T2 kind of design. And obviously you've got the CVLIFE logo on the side there, which some people won't like because, you know, it's not necessarily like a, you know, Trigicon or something like that, but I actually don't think it's too bad. It's pretty kind of like standard. And they're actually making some really good optics right now. So I think they made some like kind of a lot cheaper ones, which I kind of mentioned, I think, in the last video, which were like, I kind of bought them. I think the first like couple of airsoft guns I got, you know, you would buy them. It almost looks like a kind of larger Trigicon SRO kind of style. It's like the standard $20 airsoft optic, and they made those. So that kind of affected my opinion, I think, of what they were like as like what they were building. Now I can have it like super close right up there, which might be the way I run it, but I think maybe I would go slightly further back like there. And that I think is a better location. One thing though, actually, I will say is if I have it that far back, with how my APFG is, it's going to affect the actual charging handle there. So this is a big tab on here. So that's something also just to think about. If you've got a, you know, APFG style, or not APFG style, sorry, SIG style kind of like butterfly charging handle, that might get in the way if you've got it too close. It depends how far away you want to run it from your face, I think. Because what I might do is put it there. That is, it's kind of like millimeter perfect if you have it in that location where it's going to rotate off to the side. And that's a really nice like click. I need to tighten this one as well, because that's a little loose just on the setting there. So we'll tighten that up. And now that is like solid. And that is, if I have my eye in that location there and I've got my eye closed or even both open, I've got the kind of 3 times magnification. I can then just flip it. There is no like button release to flip, which I actually kind of like. On my other one, on my XM5, which I've got the SIG sights on it, I have to like push the button to do it. And I'm kind of used to it, so it's fine. But it is very, very unnecessary to have it. This thing is solid and in place. And then if I want to rotate it there, it's there. It's not too bulky and it's kind of out of the way. So I'll give you like a little look of that from all sides. But I think, guys, for like $170, you're kind of getting a setup where you can run it just as a red dot. I could say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do red dot today. So I'm going to push this in and remove the magnifier, go out and run it like that. If I'm doing some longer engagements and I'm playing outdoors, you know, the next day or wherever it is, I can just pop that on super fast and easy. These both lock in place. It's exactly the same paint, so like it like definitely kind of like fits in. It's not like you've got one that's shiny and one that's not. They're both black. I think they only do a black version. They don't do an FDE from what I know. Again, I'll put the link down below so you guys can go and check it out. But I think for $170, guys, you know, you're not going to find, you know, you'll be lucky to find a good red dot sight for $170. With this, you're kind of going to get $170 for the magnifier and that sight. You could use one, you could use just the magnifier for that on other optics if you wanted to. You don't need to buy a riser. They're already like probably an inch. I'm just kind of estimating on this, but it's probably an inch over. And this works far, far better for me on this than that sight, which is great for CQB probably in like close ranges, but it's not nearly as like versatile. Like this is kind of like a setup that a lot of people will run on their regular ARs. So I'd say you're probably wanting this on some kind of like AR. Let me just kind of like play around with this ring here. I've got a plus and a minus on this as well. Oh, so this does zoom in. So it's got a variable. So depending on which, like, if that's too zoomed in there, we can rotate this round and then that's going to clear that up. So it's not zooming in, but it's giving me eye relief at different ranges. So if I'm looking over there now, like the room at the end, just in front of my office, that's now very clear. If I kind of zoomed out, it was a lot clearer at close range. And then I've got this here, but that, guys, is just, it's a really, really easy like setup to use. It's very, very easy to use this at that range with both eyes open, whack that in, close one eye, and then I've got that 3x magnification. And yeah, I can't see that like red box thing anymore. So I don't know what that was, but that red box kind of like that was there is now gone. So I have no idea what that was. Oh, I think maybe what it was is maybe I had it partially turned, not fully all the way to one of the reticles. Are you coming up? He's like tapping me on the leg saying, hey, can I come up and do it? So most importantly, let's get Charlie's opinion on it. What do you think? You like this? Here, Charlie, look. Okay. It seems pretty indifferent, to be honest. But guys, that's going to be my review here of the CVLIFE. It's called the Eagle Talon Multireticle Auto Brightness Red Dot and 3x Magnifier Combo. A lot of these sites, they put massively long titles. It's almost like the description of it is a title. It says long press the up switch to put it on light sensitive and manual mode. Oh, okay, hold on. If I do this... Okay, so it just double tapped and it got brighter. So maybe that's what that's going to do there. Let me just... Okay, so I've basically put it onto auto mode. So that's kind of cool. It'll do auto brightness and shake awake, which means you don't really have to worry about like, oh, how bright is it? If it's going to be shake awake, then it's going to turn itself off, which I think is kind of awesome. Multiple reticles, auto brightness, green dot and red dot and 3x magnifier combo. It's a 60 MOA dot, 43 MOA X, 40 MOA circle, or they call it a red dot, a bullseye, a crosshair, or a starburst is the kind of like combo one. And it's got like 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. So people are definitely reviewing it and they're liking it. You can also get like just a magnifier, which is $150. So with this, you're basically getting the magnifier and there's another one they have for $100. So I think this is the $100 one, looking at it. Yeah, so this is $100 by itself if you want to buy it, the magnifier. And then it's $170 or $180 for a combo of the two. So you can buy one separately if you want to. But I'm going to put a link in the description to this. I think it's really good, guys. For the price of what it is, it's great. It's not going to be like mind-blowing, change your life. You know, this is a best sight I've ever used, I'm sure. But comparatively to like the Romeo, my Romeo 8T, my SIG one with that Juliet 3 micro magnifier, it's going to be close to like what that is. I don't know in terms of like longevity of how long it's going to last for, how long the battery lasts for, etc. But I would say for $170, guys, this is a very, very good option for airsoft. So they did send it to me for free. Always like bear that in mind. But I think it looks cool. I think it does the job. And I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments and the description. Sorry, the comments, because you can't write in the description. The comments down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you all very soon on the next video, and have a great day wherever you are. Goodbye.